All right, welcome back.
And thank you for opening
Your mind
and your heart
for another dose
of Red Pill Report
with Romy
and Harold.
Let me assert my firm belief that the only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order.
Fear itself.
A world where the rule of law.
Okay. Thank you very much for
What up?
joining us. How's everybody going? I always say, how's everybody going?
He does say that. I've noticed.
What the hell's all about? How's everybody doing?
How y'all doing
How's
out
it
there?
going? And how's everybody doing?
And how y'all going doing?
How you going to do that? How you going to do that?
How you going to be there?
You just let me talk all weird all the time. Come on, man.
When Autumn, my 7-year-old, about to turn 8, we have this thing because we're goofy, real silly. So we say this thing like, why you do that, dude? And why you do that, dude? Means, why did you do that, dude?
Yeah. Why you do that, dude?
And so we just say, why you do that, dude? Why you do that, dude? So her and I just go back and forth.
Well, I have one of the kids. We talk about taking scuba deuce.
Oh, scuba deuce. Like, I got to go to take a scuba deuce.
Scuba deuce.
Scuba deuce.
I gotta take a scuba deuce.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
How's everybody doing? How's everybody going out there?
Yes, it's another episode. Episode number 22.
22.
Oh,
Man, we're
the numbers,
flying
brother.
through
The
these.
numbers 22. How about that? Nice little synchronistic number there, right?
I love 22. I was
Yes.
born on the 22nd.
Nice.
22.
Nice. So yeah, welcome back, and before we get going, make sure you get on that YouTube channel, subscribe, hit that like button, throw a comment. Got to help that
Algorithm.
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 Yes. Oh, I threw off your jingle, man. Sorry, I didn't realize.
No, it's all good.
I didn't realize it was happening.
I appreciate the applause.
Oh
Oh, man.
man, I'm finding some use for these little sound buttons.
He's got
here.
buttons over there for days.
Dude, buttons for days,
Man, why don't you
brother.
press some buttons, man?
Brother, I got buttons for days.
Hey,
brother.
Romy, you don't ever press any buttons when I'm around.
You don't want me to press the buttons, brother. You ain't ready for that. So, yes.
right.
All right. So, we are excited to bring to you another episode with another wonderful topic.
Yep.
And Harold, you want to get them started on the topic we want to talk about?
Yeah, we got 2 special guests on our topic today.
Oh, just one.
Oh, one. We're
Yeah.
doing one today.
Yeah.
The other one we'll get him in later.
Yeah.
He's got to do a little digging before we get him out there. All right. So today's Nikola Tesla.
Yeah.
My boy, my dog, Nikola Tesla.
Mm-hmm. And he has the quote. We talked about this in a couple episodes ago.
Yeah.
If you wish to understand the universe, think of energy, frequency, and vibration.
That's right.
Yes. So
What does that mean?
So yeah, what
Who
does that mean?
do y'all know who Nikola Tesla is? Y'all love that quote? Anybody of y'all heard that before?
It's not taught in the education system.
Not at all.
So probably not. A lot of people have not heard of it. Matter of fact, I tried to teach one of the kids who Tesla was, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, that's who the car's named after."
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yeah.
like, no.
Oh, yeah,
The
yeah,
car.
that's-
No, and they named him after the car. I said, no. The car's named after him.
Yeah.
So Nikola Tesla is a genius.
Where is he from?
He was a physicist, and Give me 1 second here. Let's get this screen shared over here. We have a little article from history.com. And just to give you a heads up on who he is, Nikola Tesla, Serbian and American engineer and physicist, born in 1856 and died in 1943. He made dozens of breakthroughs in the production, transmission, and application of electric power. He invented the first alternating current motor and developed the AC generation and transmission technology. Though he was famous and respected, he was never able to translate his copious inventions into long-term financial success. Unlike his early employer and chief rival, Thomas Edison.
Mm-hmm.
So in the early years, Nikola Tesla was born in 1856 in Smiljan, Croatia, then part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. His father was a priest in the Serbian Orthodox Church, and his mother managed the family's farm.
Family's farm.
Yes. So in 1863, Tesla's brother Daniel was killed in a riding accident, and the shock of this loss unsettled the 7-year-old Tesla, who reported seeing visions, the first signs of his lifelong mental illnesses.
They labeled him with a mental illness.
History.com.
And he was 7. I like 7. So I was born in 77.
Okay. So, did you know during the 1890s, Mark Twain struck up a friendship with the inventor, Nikola Tesla?
Nope.
Well, Twain often visited him in his lab.
He didn't tell me.
I know, man. What are they having?
You going to Tesla's lab?
Wow, bro,
you didn't even tell
Tesla. Come on, man. Where in 1894, Tesla photographed the American writer in one of the first pictures ever lit by the phosphorescent light.
Phosphorescent light.
Yes, phosphorescent. Thank you, sir.
I was
sounding it out, man. I was working on it. I was almost there. Give me some time. Phosphorescent. Sound that shit out.
Yeah.
All right. So Tesla studied math and physics at the Technical University of Graz and philosophy at the University of Prague. In 1882, while on a walk, he came up with the idea of the brushless AC motor, making the first sketches of its rotating and electromagnetics in the sand of the path. Later that year, he moved to Paris and got a job repairing direct current power plants with the Continental Edison Company. Wow. 2 years later, he immigrated to the United States.
He had to get away.
Yes.
That's how long I last at jobs. Usually like 2 years and I'm out. Either tell the boss off or I just can't do that shit.
Two and out.
Yep.
Two and out.
Every time.
So the history with Tesla and Edison. So Tesla arrived in New York in 1884, was hired as an engineer at Thomas Edison's Manhattan headquarters. He worked there for a year, impressing Edison with his diligence and ingenuity. Ingenuity. Okay. No judging here, folks. There's no judging in 5D.
Nope.
At one point, Edison told Tesla he would pay $50,000 for an improved design for his DC dynamos.
Dynamo.
I almost said dynamos. Dynamos.
The dynamos.
After months of experimentation, Tesla presented a solution and asked for the money.
Pay me.
That sounds legit.
Yeah.
Edison demurred, saying, Tesla, you don't understand our American humor.
Oh, you're joking that you're going to pay me? How about a punch to the throat?
And Tesla,
I'm not joking.
And Tesla quit soon after.
Never got his money, and Edison got his upgrade.
And History.com failed to report that he punched him in the throat.
Yep. Hashtag throat punch.
Throat punch.
Thomas Edison.
Throat punch Edison.
Yep.
So, Nikola Tesla and Westinghouse.
Westinghouse.
After an unsuccessful attempt to start his own Tesla electric light company and a stint digging ditches for $2 a day, Tesla found backers to support his research into alternating current. In 1887 and 1888, he was granted more than 30 patents for his inventions and invited.
Smart.
Yes. And he was invited to address the American Institute of Electrical Engineers on his work. His lecture caught the attention of George Westinghouse, the inventor who had launched the first AC power system near Boston and was Edison's major competitor in the Battle of the Currents.
So he's trying to grab Tesla.
Yeah, he's trying to take all the good guys, all the good ones, huh? So Westinghouse hired Tesla, licensed the patents for his AC motor, and gave him his own lab.
Nice.
In 1890, Edison arranged for a convicted New York murderer to be put to death in an AC-powered electric chair.
What?
A stunt
Wait,
design.
hold on. So Edison
Yeah, that's right.
grabbed Tesla's invention, the AC, and used it to kill someone.
Yes,
Wow. Like how long?
like the death
Like
penalty.
like a year after, like
Like
something, or
in 1890.
And when did he like come out with the AC? Did it say when it was patented? Because I'm almost like seeing like how they.
Well, he worked for Edison 84. He quit a year later. So
yeah, so it had to be
87.
within. Yeah, look at that.
87
So they're
and 88.
basically just like throwing shit in his face and be like, "Oh, we'll take your own invention and do exactly the opposite of what you wanted it to do.
Yeah,
Instead
yeah.
of saving people, we're gonna have it kill people to show you your like how much power we have over you."
Yep. Yep. Imagine that, dude.
Yeah.
Imagine that. That's,
And this is still the historychannel.com.
yes.
And see, they're not talking about it like that.
No.
But if
they're-
you read between the lines, people, this is how you come up with some semblance of truth of what the fuck's going on. They play shit like children. I'm gonna get back at you. Look what I'll do with your thing.
Yeah, totally. Yep. So yeah, it's just
Sorry.
one little sentence there. Totally.
Sorry, I had to throw that in there.
Yeah, it was a stunt designed to show how dangerous the Westinghouse standard could be.
No, it's designed to.
There's
go
also
after
reports that
Tesla.
they used this on animals, and I think there was an elephant they did this with.
Wow.
I don't think it's going to be on here, but yeah. So
It would almost be like a tactic to get Tesla to stop working with Westinghouse. Like, hey, as long as you work with our competitor, we're gonna
or to discredit the technology.
right. Yeah, all in general, because
It's Tesla's invention.
it's a good technology.
Yep.
From what I hear, I don't know. I'm not like an electrical engineer, but
Well,
I
that's
hear
what we're using.
Is it AC or DC?
We're using
or is
AC.
it AC/DC?
We're using AC, alternating current.
Okay, right.
So, buoyed by Westinghouse royalties, Tesla struck out on his own again. But Westinghouse was soon forced by his backers to renegotiate their contract, with Tesla relinquishing his royalty rights.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, in 1890s, Tesla invented electric oscillators, meters, improved lights, and high voltage transformers known as Tesla coil, which is what you see on the back of these wonderful pendants that you can get at Infinite
I
U
like Tesla.
77 all over the
Yeah.
place.
All over the place.
Let Harold hook you up with some custom pendants. In 18, or let's see, Tesla. He also experimented with X-rays, gave short-range demonstrations of radio communications 2 years before Guglielmo Marconi, and piloted a radio-controlled boat around the pool in Madison Square Garden. Whoa, remote control, huh? Together, Tesla and Westinghouse lit the 1891 World's Columbian Exposition in Chicago and partnered with General Electric to install AC generators at Niagara Falls, creating the first modern power station.
He was a badass.
This boy was legit. That boy good.
Mm-hmm.
In 1895, Tesla's New York lab burned, destroying years' worth of notes and equipment. Tesla relocated to Colorado Springs for 2 more years. Returning to New York in 1900, he secured backing from financier J.P. Morgan and began building global communications network centered on a giant tower at Wardenclyffe on Long Island. But funds ran out, and Morgan balked at Tesla's grandiose schemes. Wow, history, really? Really, History Channel? They're leaving shit out, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, So the story is he created this wireless electricity, and he said, "Hey, J.P. Morgan, I got free energy for everybody."
Yeah.
And J.P. Morgan said, "Oh, wonderful! You can create free energy. Goddamn, I don't have to buy shit and sell
Yeah.
it. Oh, well,
Once
let's
we
do
build
it.
it, I just keep collecting money."
How much do we make off it? I mean, how much do we charge people?" And he said, "No, sir, no."
Done. Here we.
All right.
There we go.
All right, he's back from
I'm
another,
back.
from another dimension. All right.
I was voiceless.
I think he time traveled.
Yeah.
Ooh,
My voice took a little while to get here. It's like,
Meow.
what were we saying?
He left again. Where did he go?
Where's my
There he is.
ois, ois. All right.
All right. Here we go.
Okay. Stay with me.
All
now,
right,
folks.
Harold's back.
Look at all my arms.
Yeah.
Look at all my wonderful arms.
So
Okay.
so J.P. Morgan's like, "Hey, how would you make money?" He said, "No, it's free
Yeah.
for everybody." He said, "Bye, I'll see you."
Yeah.
He said, "That's
Can't do it if it's free, bro.
That's where the
I'm a financier.
That's where the funding ran out. That's where the funding ran out.
That's what. So they're just like, and funding ran dry from J.P. Morgan, the
Yeah.
dude that had like all this money. It just ran dry. No, that was something that.
Who was in charge of the copper industry at the
Yeah.
time? Tesla lived his last decades in New York hotel, working on new inventions, even as his energy and mental health faded. His obsession with the number 3 and the fastidious washing were dismissed as the eccentricities of genius. I said it, right? I did.
It's a genius.
I pushed through and I said the word.
Eccentricities.
He spent his final years feeding and he claimed communicating with the city's pigeons. Tesla died in his room on January 7th of 1943. Later that year, the U.S. Supreme Court voided 4 of Marconi's key patents, belatedly acknowledging Tesla's innovations in radio. The AC system he championed and improved remains the global standard for power transmission.
Yeah.
And he got 0 credit.
Right. So Tesla did a lot of great things for humanity, even while being stifled by the man because he wasn't trying to turn a buck.
Yeah.
Get rich
Yeah.
from his inventions.
Yeah, I saw a documentary the other day and I forget exactly, but if it was Westinghouse, I think it may have been Westinghouse, where he just gave up his pay to help
Right.
the cause that Westinghouse was trying
Yeah.
to do. And actually, I think Westinghouse was paying for his rent for the rest of his life as repayment for helping him
Should
out.
have paid him way more.
Yeah.
I remember watching something a long time ago on Mythbusters, and they were talking about resonant frequencies and what they were trying to do is get this bridge to start like where they had some hammers with like these oscillator things that were supposed to go at resonant frequencies or whatever that they can dial in, and they were trying to dial into this bridge to get it to go whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah.
Like those bridges back in the day that the winds, they just made it at where the winds could come through and hit this resonant frequency and destroy the whole bridge. Well, what they were saying is that Tesla created this thing. He's the one that like got into that, tapping into anything's resonant frequency, and you can either create or destroy. And there's a story that when he was in his apartment or whatever in Manhattan, that he was making this machine, or he had this machine going, and it started to like cause an earthquake, what felt like an earthquake to like the whole block and that whole building, where the police were called and they found where the epicenter of this thing was. And when they kicked open his door, he was there with a sledgehammer trying to break the thing because he couldn't get it to shut off.
Oh.
Like it tapped into the resonant frequency of the building, and it's like, oh shit, oh no, okay,
What
and
did
it's
I
like
do?
now the building's shaking. Where's the turn? He unplugs it. Oh no, it's still going. Oh my god, he's like, where the fuck's the sledgehammer? Probably tripping and falling as he gets the sledgehammer, and you know they kick open the door and he's there, and he finally just gets it, and once it stops, like everything settles down.
Wow.
Yeah, some like crazy story. It was on MythBusters, and that was a long time ago. And I'm just like, man. So there's, you know, when we started talking about Tesla and some of the stuff that he did, I'm absolutely fascinated with his life, his story, his inventions, the stuff that didn't get out, that are, you know, some are part of conspiracy theories, and you know, he just falls into so many like I don't know, really cool shit that tunes right into my world. And I'm like, yeah.
Same here. There's a lot of it. And that was just a watered down version of his history.
Yeah,
right?
super watered down.
That was History Channel. So, so yeah, man, let's talk about one of the other aspects. And we kind of touched on it already.
Yeah. Which one?
Time travel.
Time travel.
Nikola Tesla and time travel.
Because energy is everything. I don't know, man. I get some real crazy visions in my mind when I start thinking about this stuff. And I'm like, dude, why couldn't you just ride a frequency wave all the way to a different space in that much time?
Right. Yeah. And so we have an article from newspunch.com. And so it's Nikola Tesla's time travel experience. So it's quotes, I could see past, present, and future simultaneously.
Quantum.
Time is relative, right? So Nikola Tesla was obsessed with time travel, as are we. He worked on a time machine and reportedly succeeded saying that, the quote, I could see past, present, and future all at the same time. The idea that humans are able to travel in time has captured the imagination of millions around the globe. If we look back at history, you'll find numerous texts that can be interpreted as evidence of time travel. When Albert Einstein published his theory of relativity in 1905, it created a buzz in the scientific community, opening the page for many questions such as time travel and is time travel a possibility? There is also evidence in time travel in the Bible, according to Eric von Daniken.
Von Daniken.
Yes, and in quotes. In the Bible, the prophet Jeremiah was sitting together with a few of his friends. And there was a young boy. His name was
Donald Trump. What's his name?
It's Baron Trump. Fool.
Oh, yeah, Baron Trump.
He's the time traveler.
Yeah.
His name was Donald Trump. No, just kidding. Abimelech. And Jeremiah said to Abimelech, go out of Jerusalem. There is a hill, and collect some figs for us.
All right.
The boy went out and collected the fresh figs. All of a sudden, Abimelech hears some noise and the wind in the air and becomes unconscious. He had a blackout.
Okay.
After a time, he wakes up again and he saw it was nearly the evening.
Okay.
It was a long nap. So
I'm like, was this an abduction story or?
No,
okay, go,
bro.
go,
He fell
go.
asleep. He woke up later. It was time travel.
That just sounds like sleep. That's like me going to sleep at night, waking up in the morning and be like, holy shit.
Let's finish.
How the fuck did I get here?
We're jumping to conclusions. Okay.
Go,
so
go,
the
go.
Bible, bro. We're talking about the Bible.
Oh,
okay.
we got to keep it serious then.
Okay.
Tighten it up.
So when he runs back to the society, and the city was full of soldiers. Oh.
Okay. That's different.
Yeah, this is going somewhere. And he says, what is going on here? Where's Jeremiah and all the others? And an old man said, oh, that was 62 years ago.
Said Jeremiah.
Dude was a time traveler. It's also a time travel story written in the Bible. Wow. Von Daniken. That's pretty, I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I don't see
That's crazy.
what book or
It's like,
it's a travel by, it's according to Eric von Daniken.
there's a movie on that I saw, the Redbox, called The Wave. It's dude takes like a hit of some kind of drug and he blinks his eye and he goes and then he wakes up and boom, he's at the end of the party. Like actually the next morning, and that apartment's all trash and everything. Nobody's there, and he's like, "What the fuck?" He doesn't even look like he's like on drugs.
Was it an Ambien?
Dude, I don't know what he took, but the movie line, everything is absolutely pretty good. I recommend The Wave.
The Wave, okay.
Yeah. It's pretty badass. Go for it.
All right. So according to reports, in 1895, Tesla made a shocking discovery suggesting that time and space could be influenced by magnetic fields. And
I'm a magnetic field.
we are here for your magnetic service.
All right, Cryon. The magnanimous. Is that what it is? Magnanimous? Magnetic?
Maganomics?
Maganomics.
Maganomics? What do you think?
Make America Great, Cryon. All right.
So, disclosed TV reports. A part of the admission had come from Tesla experimenting with radio frequencies along with power transmissions through the Earth's atmosphere. The discovery would many years later lead to the Philadelphia experiment, along with time travel programs.
Our government, the deep state.
However, a long time before the top secret military programs were even thought about, Tesla had already made some discoveries that were fascinating in regards to nature of time and the possibilities of being able to travel through time.
Man, I bet it. I would have liked to have
He
a
was a
conversation
genius.
with Tesla. That would, I always tell you, like, hey, where's one person you'd like to have a conversation with that's passed away? Tesla.
For sure.
Like a real, can I have the whole day with them?
Right?
I just want the whole day. Can I spend the whole day where he actually has the energy to talk to me and tell me everything?
Dude, that would be rocking.
Conversation. Yeah. What else you got?
So, I was just checking on, making sure we had the right screen up. Okay, so the experiments of Tesla in high voltage electricity, along with magnetic fields, led to him discovering that time and space may be deformed to essentially create a door that may lead to another time. With the discovery, Tesla then went on to discover through his own personal experiences that traveling through time came with some real dangers. So what did he discover here again? Let's read this again. The high voltage electricity along with magnetic fields led to him discovering that time and space may be deformed to essentially create a door
To another time.
that may lead to another time.
So basically, he's talking about portals and how do you open them using high voltage electricity and magnets.
Yeah.
But see that we're magnets, aren't we? Like when I don't want to.
So
That'll be
are
another.
we able to bend the time with our own magnetic energy?
I think when we get to that point of creating ourselves as a balanced negative and positive being. Ooh.
Yeah.
And maybe we get into magnet theory as a human being. That's where we're going. We're out of phase right now. We have maybe too many positive ions and not enough negative, or too many negative and not enough positive. But becoming one with oneself means to become the magnet, to become that thing that can go and bend and deform time to jump into another time.
Right.
Yeah, man, that
Yeah.
Tesla was talking about jumping through dimensions. If you, the being, become that magnet rather than, because he was probably talking about using magnets and high voltage things, but if you are the high voltage magnetic being,
Right.
then you can jump through the times and be that
Create your own
universal
portals.
being, right? And create your own portals. But what I think at this time, what he's talking about is actually using magnets and
Right.
high voltage
The tool.
devices, right? Tools, and then maybe putting things through it, or I don't wonder. See that's where getting into like not being part of the machine brings the difficulty, because when you become the tool in the machine, then it's probably a little bit easier to navigate it because it becomes more natural
Right.
way to do it. Like I would imagine, I'm just getting real nerdy, I guess, here, because my mind is just going off, and I hope people are seeing it in their head. But trying to dial in with a separate device that is magnetic and another device that's high voltage, you got to key in on the hertz, the frequencies, the strength of magnetism, And then now, where is it going to take you once you bend that and deform the time? How do you dial that in? But as a being that is all and more quantum than anything, and you're just remembering it, then it's like, oh, I want to go to my future self, Pleiadian, 7th dimension, boom.
Yeah, and it's all in your
Right?
mind.
Yeah, it's like a speed of thought.
Right. Yeah, wow. That was good. That was good.
Man, so this dude was onto some stuff.
Big time. So again, he figured out there could be some real dangers in that. So the very first experience Tesla had with traveling in time occurred in March of 1895. A New York Herald reporter wrote that he found the inventor sitting in a cafe after he had just been hit by 3.5 million volts of electricity.
Tesla? Teslas were hit with that electricity. He's at the shop, the diner, saying, I need a cup of Joe.
The inventor is Tesla. Right, yeah.
Probably just went through a wormhole. And
Weird. Okay. So the reporter said that Tesla had told him that he would not be very pleasant company to be around due to the fact that he had almost died. Duh. He went on to say that
now's not right the time, not the right time.
Yeah, I'm too old for this shit.
Danny Glover.
He went on to say that the 3-foot spark had jumped into the air and hit him on the shoulder. Tesla went on to tell the reporter that if it had not been for his assistance during the power off, straight away, he would have been killed. Oh, wow.
Man.
Tesla went on to tell the reporter also that he was in contact with the resonance from the electromagnetic charge he had found that he went out of his space and time window. Does that make sense?
Well, so he's saying with that arc that came up and sparked him, he was able to tap into a resonance that allowed him to get out of this particular space and time?
Yeah.
Wow.
The resonance from the electromagnetic charge that he had found that he went out of his space and time window. Okay. He said that he had been able to see the past, the present, and the future at the very same time. He admitted that he had been paralyzed in the electromagnetic field, and so he had been unable to help himself.
Right.
Whoa. Thankfully, his assistant had been beside him and been able to turn off the power before any severe and permanent damage had been done. Dude, so he was like shocked.
He like jacked in. He jacked into like space time. Can you imagine? This volt just comes up, boom, and you're seeing all front,
bro.
present, and future. And he's like, "Okay, I'm too paralyzed to turn it off myself." Oh my God, I see everything right now.
Then
Oh, thank you. Fuck.
What if that person was?
I need to go to the diner for a minute and have myself a smoke.
Damn,
Yeah,
that's wild.
he would have probably just like.
died.
It may have looked like a. I kind of have a theory like on spontaneous human combustion.
Mm-hmm.
They jacked in. They hit that resonance, and nobody was there to shut them off.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you got our shoes and clothes that are burnt to a crisp. Feet that are left and shit. It's crazy, right?
Yeah, that is a wild phenomenon.
Like, how do you spontaneous human combustion?
Yeah.
I wonder if Tesla has a theory on that. I'll ask him in my future conversation.
Yes, let's do that. So an incident said to be repeated in the Philadelphia experiment by the U.S. Navy.
Dude, I've heard some
stuff?
crazy shit with them. Go ahead.
Yeah, so many years later, the repetition of the exact same incident occurred during the Philadelphia experiment. However, this led to sailors being left outside of the window space reference for a long time, and this, of course, had results that were disastrous.
Ooh, does it talk about the results? Because I've heard some of the results from
Yeah, I saw
key
something.
players.
Well, the Philadelphia experiment was the alleged military experiment, which was said to have been carried out by the U.S. Navy in 1943. It was said that the escort of the USS Eldridge had become invisible to enemies. However, the U.S. Navy has always said that no such experiment happened, and the claims of the ship becoming invisible did not conform to physical laws.
That's dumb. Because that's what they were trying to break, and they did it.
Yeah. So,
Dude, I've heard some of the stories from dudes that were there, like that were whistleblowers that were in charge of creating that device, that are sitting there. They're speaking the jargon, and it's complicated to follow. But if you can follow it, it's like, whoa, okay. So they're saying some of these soldiers that came back that were on that ship they were embedded in the walls.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
Like-
the movie shows that, like, half of them.
In the decks, and like just freaking coming back with psychosis and just having completely been mind fucked. And these guys were saying that it had something to do with another point in time when they ran the experiment on how those were both connecting with each other, and it was pulling things from there, and things were going like they
particles are being.
Yeah, and see, that's the part where I say, like, when you're putting in actual devices and trying to dial in codes and frequencies and power and strengths of magnets and all these different things and get it to a specific point in time and space, and you could really fuck some shit up. And I think that's what Tesla was talking about. Look, I figured it out, and we can do it.
Yeah.
Because he got fucking shocked and saw all things at one time.
Yeah.
And he's like, but that's more of a natural occurrence, and it's hard to fucking dial in as a 3D man with devices.
Right. Yeah, and that was with 1943.
That's a long ass time ago. Imagine where they're at now.
Yeah, so I'm sure they perfected the
Right.
that
was the beginning
technology.
phases of them practicing right there.
So that being said, is there a part of the government that knows how to look into the future?
I feel like emphatically yes. I've seen just too much stuff. Call me a conspiracy theorist, whatever you want, but no,
the dots connect.
Yeah, they connect,
and
especially when you learn how to decipher codes and can read between lines and may get some part of a story where they maybe don't have the whole story correct if you add it up with someone else's from a different perspective and be like, oh, y'all both are saying it wrong if you look at it from overall, like you got both pieces of the part. We can put it together. There's so much information about all this stuff.
Yeah, so there's so much out there. So so folks, just do research. Look at it, look it up yourself, and use your best discernment. You can listen to us for entertainment purposes, and that's fine. But ultimately, you are the one inside your mind and your heart are making that decision whether you accept the information or not. Right. But yeah, so Tesla is somebody that did not get any the credit that he deserved, and so we wanted to give a little talk about him and
and FYI, again, this can be some just if you look at some of the data and true information. Trump's uncle was in charge of a company that did go in and get some of Tesla's and look and categorize some of Tesla's stuff. That's a fact.
Yep.
And
John Trump.
And there is a book that was written 124 years ago that has some pretty weird information that adds up to some stuff that's happening now in our now times. You can do your own research on that. And there's just a lot of things that you cannot explain that are making this place that we live in pretty like a dream, like where paranormal stuff is going to become more normal. We're in a different time and place, folks, and do not discredit if you're new to the channel and don't know that we get on some pretty crazy stuff here. Don't discredit paranormal things and how energy tends to like melt through. There's no borders. Yeah. Where it comes through this dimension into other, energy is able to go through each, but it's just how it's represented in each different dimension in each different place. Yeah. And I think that's also what Tesla was getting into, is how do you mold your energy to put it to be into a different place? And I think that's the part that our military, may have perfected, or maybe they don't have all that part to it. There's just a lot of stuff going around, but Tesla was here to help humanity, and he was stifled, in my opinion. And, I think his stuff's going to come out, and that's what me making these things with the Tesla coils on them is me trying to bring his information here into the forefront, and how can we do alchemy and quantum healing. And, that's why Romy and I do what we do. That's right. This is for everyone, which is what Tesla was all about.
Yep. absolutely. Oh, that book that you're talking about, I found it's The Travel and Adventures of Little Baron Trump.
Little Baron Trump. Come on now. Come on now. 124 years ago, this book was written.
Yeah, and he's supposed to be a time traveler in the book.
Yeah, and there's like his mentor or something in the book is named Don.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Guys.
Donald Trump's birthday, like his actual birthday's like on a full moon, and I mean he's got
Yeah.
some stuff within his being that he's probably not even completely aware of yet.
Totally.
That has like this ultra being that's like, yo, we're gonna shift because that's what's happening on the planet. We've got to shift into a higher pattern.
Yeah. So thank you guys for joining us on the ride, and thank you for being here through the end of this episode. Don't forget to subscribe, to like, comment,
Please.
help the
Algorithm.
That's right. Help that algorithm. It's all right. So very good.
Yeah. So, like Romy said, we want to thank you guys. We love each and every one. We do this stuff for you guys, and we want y'all to tune in for the next episode. And love always,
In all ways,
from now.
till the end of days.
Peace. What was that?
Spooky.